Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to put your bridge back on if it fell. There's no reason to panic if your bridge has fallen down. It just means that the strings were a little bit too loose to support the bridge, so it collapsed. But I'm going to show you how to put it back on, and it's fairly simple. So first let's take a look at our bridge and see how there is a side of it that is taller or higher up, and then it slopes down on one end. If your instrument is facing you, the strings are facing you, you're going to line up the higher part of the bridge, or the taller part, with your lowest sounding string all the way to the left. And then the lower part of the bridge is going to line up with your highest sounding string. The tall part of the bridge will line up with G, and then the short part of the bridge will line up with E. You're going to slide the bridge underneath the strings. When you're doing this, you're going to have the violin facing you. Slide the bridge underneath the strings with the tall part facing all the way to the left, and then just kind of stand it up until it's under the strings, like this. You want to make sure that each of the strings is fitted inside the little ridge that's designed for it. So again, from left to right on your instrument, the G string is going to go here, and then the D string will go here, and the A string will go here, and the E string will go on the final fourth slot. Also, if your strings have these little plastic like shields over the string, that's supposed to go right inside the little slot of the bridge. It's actually to protect so that the string doesn't dig directly into the bridge. So if you have those, make sure they're not just flying around. And then up here, you got to make sure that the strings are not tangled with one another and that they fit right in those little ridges designed for them up there too. So you're going to try to center it in between the F holes, and then it should be lining up with this little line right here on the F holes. So basically directly centered at the midpoint of the F hole, in between them, kind of lined up with the fingerboard. And again, the bridge is going from your lowest string to your highest string. It will slope from the highest part of the bridge to the lowest part of the bridge. Kind of get it to stand up, and then align it very center of the F holes, right in between them, and then lined up with the fingerboard. It's going to move around a little bit until you tighten the strings, but just kind of try to get it lined up as close as possible before you start tightening the strings to get it to stay in place. So once you have everything lined up, then you're going to start turning the pegs just slightly, just to get the strings tight enough to keep the bridge up. We're not starting our tuning process yet. At this point, I'm just tightening the strings a little bit more than what they were before, where they were very loose and out of control, just to get the bridge steady, but not too tight yet, because I still want to make some adjustments now to get the bridge perfectly lined up and make sure that it's also not slanted in any way. When you look at it from this angle, you want to get it really lined up between the F holes, right at the midpoint, and aligned with the fingerboard. All right, now that your bridge is standing up, again, let's check to make sure that it's on the right side. Tallest part of the bridge is under the G string. All of the strings are resting right in those little slots made for them, and they're in the right place up here as well, and none of the strings have tangled or switched spots. But now that I got my bridge standing up, I gotta tune my instrument. So that's where I've got my tuner out. This is where I start to turn the pegs very carefully. And watch the bridge while you're tuning in case it might have moved out of place, because before you make it too tight when you tune your instrument, you can make little adjustments. I'm going quickly right now, but if you don't have a lot of experience with this, you should do it very slowly. Use the fine tuners too. Don't forget to push and turn when handling the pegs. And here we go. Got the bridge standing back up, and I'm pretty much in tune. It's not perfect, but there it is.